What if I told you that trying to help everyone is actually allowing you to help no one? And what if I told you the biggest breakthrough for my time-starved parent entrepreneurs isn't about working harder or finding more hours in the day or working longer, but about leveraging tools that literally did not exist 2 or 3 years ago? Here's the thing, my friends. While everyone is out there still teaching you that you need to hustle harder, hustle longer, there's a quiet revolution happening under the surface. AI tools are leveling the playing field in ways that specifically benefit those busy parents who need to maximize every single minute that they have to build their dreams. So stick around, because I'm about to share why we're making yet another major strategic shift here at the Dark Horse Entrepreneur, and how this could be the game changer that you have been waiting for, so that you can finally escape your 9-to-5 grind. What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to yet another episode of the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast. I am your humble host, Tracy Brinkman, and today we're going to dive into something that's been weighing a bit heavy on my heart for a few months now. I'm going to be honest, I've been watching so many parent entrepreneurs and just entrepreneurs in general out there struggle with the same soul-crushing challenge over and over and over again. They're out there drowning in information, but they're starving when it comes to transformation. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about here, right? They're consuming content about Facebook ads, email marketing, content creation, affiliate marketing, podcasting, TikTok strategies, on and on and on and on. And they're getting absolutely nowhere fast because they're trying to do everything instead of mastering one thing that could and would completely change everything. Coming off that, here's what we're going to be covering today. First, I'm going to share the science behind why niching down isn't just smart business, it's actually essential for your sanity as well as your success. Then we're going to explore why the most successful entrepreneurs focus narrow and then they go deep. That's right. They don't go a mile wide and an inch deep. They go an inch wide and a mile deep. And I'm going to give you some real world examples about how this works. Then I have a major announcement about the future direction of this very podcast that I think is going to blow your mind. We're going to talk about a strategy shift that could help you research, launch, and grow your side hustle way faster than you ever thought possible. Even if you're one of my busy parents out there that only has 15 minutes of time between cheer practice and bedtime stories. Okay, so grab a cup of coffee, whatever your favorite beverage is, find a quiet spot, get yourself a pen and pad of paper. You might want to take some notes, and let's dive into why we're niching down further and how it's going to change everything for the parent entrepreneurs who are ready to run their race towards freedom. Now, let me start with a story that's probably going to sound painfully familiar to many of you listening right now. Maybe I'm talking to you. Last month, maybe it was a couple of months ago, God, we're in June already, the year's half over. I was on a coaching call with a mom named Jennifer. She's got 2 kids, both of them under the age of 10, works a full-time job, which is quite demanding, I might add, and as many of you do, and has been trying, and I mean trying, trying to start an online business for about 3 years. Yeah, you heard that right, 3 whole years. And when I asked her what she's been learning about recently, she took a deep breath and rattle off this exhausting list. Well, Tracy, I've taken a course on Facebook ads because everyone knows that's the key. Then I pivoted to email marketing because I've heard that the money is in the list and I want to have that list. And then I got distracted by this affiliate marketing opportunity over here that promised quick results. And I thought if I could get some quick results, I could take that revenue and reinvest it into my learning and my growing. And then I heard about podcasting being the future. And I know you've got a podcast. You're successful with your podcast. So I spent about 2 months researching microphones and researching editing software. And now everyone's talking about TikTok marketing out there and how that's where all the young entrepreneurs are making bank. And right about then, I'm like, please. I had to stop her. You know what Jennifer had accomplished in about 3 years? She had consumed more business education than most MBA students. She had notebooks full of strategies and computers full of downloaded PDFs and a brain completely stuffed with tactics. But here's the kicker. She had not made $1 single, not one single solitary cent, zero. This, my friends, is what I call the shiny object syndrome on steroids. And it's absolutely killing the dreams of so many parent entrepreneurs out there. Because here's what happens. You start learning about one strategy, you get excited, and then you dive in. But before you can master it, you hit a wall. and you will hit a wall. It's just natural. You've never done it before. So how do you know? Even with the best core sets out there, they're going to miss something for your specific scenario. So before you get your first real result, you hit that wall and you're like, oh shit, what do I do now? And then something new and shinier catches your attention. Oh, what's that? Maybe it's Facebook. Maybe you see a Facebook ad promising what the secret gurus don't want you to know, huh? Maybe it's a podcast episode. Maybe it's this podcast episode about someone who's made 6 figures with this strategy that you've never heard of before. So what do? Well, you abandon what you were working on to chase the new thing. And the cycle repeats, and it repeats again, and it repeats again. The results, you become a professional student instead of a profitable entrepreneur. You know a little bit about this and a little bit about that. Heck, you probably know a little bit about everything, and you're a master of nothing. You're like someone who's trying to dig 10 different wells at the same time instead of digging one well deep enough where you actually hit water or gold or silver, whatever it is you're digging for. Here, my friends, is the brutal truth. This scattered approach isn't just ineffective, it's actually counterproductive. Every time that you switch strategies, you're starting over from zero. Right then, ground zero. You're starting off with nothing. You lose momentum. You lose confidence. And worst of all, you lose precious time that you can't even afford to waste as a busy parent in the first place. So now, I've got to be completely honest with you here. So go ahead and lean in for a moment. I've been guilty of this exact same thing. Not just as an entrepreneur, but as the host of this very podcast. When I first launched the Dark Horse Entrepreneur, I had this grand vision of speaking to all the entrepreneurs out there. And I mean, every single one of them. I wanted to serve entrepreneurs, digital marketers, course creators, coaches, consultants, email entrepreneurs, affiliate marketers, podcasters, YouTubers, social media influencers, real estate investors, drop shippers, heck, you name it. I wanted to talk to them. I thought I could help them. I had decades of experience that I could share with them across multiple genres, companies, and product styles. My content, as a result, was all over the map. In one episode, I'd be talking about Facebook ads. In the next episode, I'd be talking about rock and roll and then real estate investing, and maybe even pivot to cryptocurrency. And then I'd come all the way back to email marketing. I was like a kid in a candy store, excited about every single business opportunity and strategy that I came across. But you know what? My audience was about as confused as I was. Heck, they were probably more confused than I was. Then the realization hit me about, I don't know, maybe it was about 2 years ago when I was having a conversation with someone I'll call a friend. And she said something that really kind of stopped me dead in my tracks. She said, Tracy, when people ask me about your podcast, I don't know what to tell them. I know you talk about entrepreneurship and personal development, and it's a good podcast and I enjoy it, but you talk about everything, which means you're really not known for anything. Ouch. Yeah, that stung. And the reason it stung is because it was absolutely true. I started looking back at the analytics, and here's what I discovered. My most downloaded episodes, the ones that got the most engagement, the ones that got the most consumption, the ones that generated the most emails from listeners, all had one thing in common. They were specifically targeted to parent entrepreneurs trying to balance family life and building a business. And some of them were folks that weren't parents yet. Maybe they were about to be, but they had other busy responsibilities that was sucking away their time. Here's the kicker. Those episodes that were focused on those folks only made up 30% of my content. That meant I was spending 70% of my time creating content that wasn't resonating with my core audience, and only 30% creating content that was actually out there impacting their lives. I, as the Dark Horse Entrepreneur, had committed the cardinal sin of marketing. I was trying to be everything to everyone, which meant, yep, I can hear some of you finishing out my magic headphones. I was doing nothing for no one. That lesson, my friends, I have to be honest, it hit me like a ton of bricks. The riches, you've heard the saying, I'm going to finish it. Yeah, I can hear some of you saying it now. The riches are in the niches. Yeah, the niches, whatever you want to call it. When you try to serve everyone, you serve no one very well. When you try to be the solution to every single problem, you become the solution to not a single problem. I realized I had been doing my audience a massive disservice. Instead of becoming the go-to expert for parent entrepreneurs, the person that they could trust to understand their unique challenges and provide solutions that actually fit into their lifestyle, instead of doing that, I had just become another generic business podcast in an ocean full of generic business podcasts. That's when I knew something had to change, not just for the success of this very podcast, but for the impact that I wanted to have in the lives of the people who trusted me with their time and their intention. They said, I'm going to click play on this. Help me, Tracy. And I wasn't. And that was me letting them down. So we narrowed down to parents. And actually, if I'm completely honest, we started with talking to all the entrepreneurs. Then we narrowed down to online entrepreneurs. Then we started narrowing down to my parent entrepreneurs with the story I just told you. So let's dive into why this niche down concept isn't really just feel good advice. It's not feel good. No, it's backed by real science and proven results. Here's the thing that most people do not understand. Go ahead and lean in for a second. Your brain is wired to trust specialists over generalists. Think about it. Yeah. If you have a heart problem, who do you go to? A general practitioner, or do you go to a cardiologist? Now, I know some of you are probably saying, well, I have to go to my general practitioner to get the referral to go to my cardiologist. But at the end of the day, you have a heart problem, you go to the cardiologist. They know the specifics. If your car breaks down, do you take it to some Joe Schmo who fixes everything, or to a mechanic, maybe who specializes in your specific make, maybe even your make and model? Yeah, right? Because you don't want, hey, what are you doing? You don't want to take it to anybody. The same principles, I think, apply to business. When someone has a specific problem, they want a specific solution, and they want that specific solution from someone who clearly understands their exact situation. So let me give you a couple of real world examples. I think are probably going to blow your mind. Some of them you may know of, others you may not. Let's talk about Pat Flynn, for example, from Smart Passive Income. Early in his career, Pat Flynn could have created a generic how to make money online website. It's not what he did. Instead, he niched way down to helping people who had just got laid off by teaching them how to create passive income streams. That very focus right there helped him build a multi-million-dollar business right from the jump. Or let's talk about Amy Porterfield. She could have been yet another generic marketing teacher. She had been, I think, the marketing engine behind Tony Robbins for a number of years, so she had the chops. But instead, she niched way down to helping entrepreneurs create and launch their online courses. That focus has made her the go-to expert in that space and even built her an 8-figure business. Yeah, let's go a little closer to home when it comes to podcasting. My man, John Lee Dumas, could have created the generic business podcast like so many others do, myself included. Instead, he niched down to doing daily interviews only with successful entrepreneurs. That specific format and focus helped Entrepreneurs on Fire become one of the top business podcasts in the world. And I know it hung around at the top spot for a long time, if it's not there now. Now, as I promised, here's the science behind why this works. And that science is called the mere exposure effect. See, the more time someone sees you as the expert in a specific area, the more they're going to trust you. When you're going narrow and deep, you're going to become the obvious choice instead of any of the other options that are out there in the marketplace. But here's where it really gets interesting for us content creators. And I believe many of you out there are content creators too. When you niche down, I mean, really niche down, something magical happens. You actually become more creative, not less. Yeah. And the reason you become more creative is because you have clear boundaries. And when you have those clear boundaries, your brain starts finding innovative solutions within those boundaries. Let me give you an example. Let's say someone came up to you and said, I want you to write something about fear. But just write something. Versus someone came up to you and said, I want you to write a haiku about overcoming fear. Well, wait a minute. Those are two different requests. One is kind of broad and wide open, where the other is like, whew, rare down. First off, I'm not talking about fear in general. I'm talking about overcoming fear. Then I'm not just writing an essay, I'm writing a haiku. That constraint will actually spark creativity as you look for ways to fit your thoughts about overcoming fear into a haiku. Plus, and this is a big plus, and this is huge for my busy parents out there, niching down makes your content creation exponentially easier, right? So instead of staring at a blank page or a blank screen, big screen, little screen in your hand, wondering, what should I talk about today? You are going to have a clear framework. because you're so niche and so narrow, it almost becomes obvious what you need to talk about. Every piece of content that you create serves your specific audience in their specific needs in a very specific way. For your audience, the benefits become even more dramatic and impactful. Instead of getting generic advice that might work for someone, everyone, somewhere, everywhere, they get laser focused strategies that work for people exactly like them, facing challenges exactly like they're facing, with constraints that they exactly have in their life. You feel me? Now they're going, holy shit, this person totally gets me. They know what I'm going through. It's like you're inside their head. Think about it this way. Would you rather get time management advice from someone who teaches productivity for everyone, or from someone who teaches productivity for working parents that have kids under the age of 10? Whoa, those are two different learnings entirely, right? The second person, that productivity for working parents for kids under 10, immediately understands that you can't just get up at 4 a.m. because your toddler has probably already been up 3 times during the night because they were colicky. So you getting up at 4 a.m. is not going to do you any damn good because you're just dead tired. You got to find out some other strategies. That, my friend, is the power of niching down. You stop being a generalist and you stop trying to help everyone, and you become a specialist who deeply understands one group of people and how they can serve them at a level that no generalist out there ever could, ever would, or ever has. Okay? And here's a beautiful irony in all of this. When you narrow your focus, you actually expand your impact. Because when you truly serve that one group of people exceptionally well, they are going to become your raving fans who's going to tell everyone else out there, whether they're inside that narrow group or not, that they know about you and they know about how amazing you are and all the amazing things you do and the impact you've had in their life. So let's take this a step further into a realm where I think things really start to get exciting, and why the timing of this niching down of this podcast couldn't be more perfect. We, my friends, are living through one of the biggest technological shifts since the internet itself, and I have been lucky enough to be around for both of them. I was early adopter when it came to having PCs, learned the program very early, and have kept myself interested in technology from the jump. And this latest technological shift since the internet is the AI revolution. And I think it's out there creating unprecedented opportunities specifically for my time-starved parents, for my time-starved entrepreneurs that are out there. Let me paint a picture for you of what is happening right this very minute out in the marketplace. Just 2 years ago, maybe it's 3, but I'll go ahead and say it's 3 years ago. Just 3 years ago, if you wanted to start an online business, you needed to either learn a dozen different skills or you needed to hire a team of those specialists I was talking about earlier. And think about it, right? You needed a copywriter, you needed a graphic designer, you needed a market researcher, a content creator, a social media manager, a customer service rep, a manager to manage all those people. The list kind of just goes on and on and on. Well, let's talk about today with this new AI revolution. AI tools can handle most of those tasks in an hour, sometimes minutes, instead of months. And we're not talking about out in the distant future that this is going to be available. We're talking about it is available right this very minute. And here's what's even better than that. What's available today is the bottom of the barrel. And what I mean by that is, if you decide you're going to outsource your social media content to an AI tool, today is the worst it's ever going to be. It's only going to get better from here. And on top of that, here's why now is the absolute perfect time for my parent entrepreneurs out there to jump on this opportunity. First, we're still in the early adoption phase. Most people are either completely unaware of these tools, or maybe they're completely intimidated by these tools. That means there is a massive first mover advantage for those who embrace AI with a big old hug right now. Now, some of you may be saying, well, Tracy, the early adopters are 2 years ahead of me. Yeah, that's fine. You can catch up quick. Trust me. Second, and this is crucial, AI is not just leveling the playing field, it's actually giving you busy parents a completely competitive advantage. And here's what I mean by that. Traditional entrepreneurship rewards those who can work the longest hours. You know what I'm talking about, right? That person that can stay up until 2 a.m. writing copy and then wake up again at 6 a.m., start creating social media content. And then they spend their lunch break doing market research. They used to have an advantage. But with AI, the script gets flipped completely. Now, the advantage is going to go to the people who think strategically, ask the right questions, and effectively direct the AI tools to execute the vision that they were thinking of. And guess what? My parents out there, you are already masters at this. You are. Trust me, you might not think you are. Think about it. Every day, you're out there managing multiple priorities, multiple schedules. You got your schedule, you got your spouse's schedule, you got your kids' schedule, you got your work schedule, right? The whole household. You're already out there making quick decisions. You're delegating tasks, and you are optimizing over and over and over again for efficiency, whether it's efficiency in your budget, efficiency in your time, efficiency to make everyone, whatever it is. You're already thinking like a CEO because you have to as a part of your family. You are the CEO of your family, right? Yeah. See, it's in my headphones again. I can hear you nodding your head. You've been training for the AI revolution and you didn't even know about it. So let me give you some specific examples of how AI is transforming what's possible for the busy parents out there. Okay. First, let's talk about market research. Market research used to take weeks, even months. Now it can be done in hours. Heck, in some cases, it can probably even be done in minutes because you can use AI to analyze your target market, identify their pain points, research your competition, and validate your business idea, all while your kids are still at cheer practice. And trust me, I know, I speak from experience. I've spent many an hour inside the parents' waiting room while my daughters were at cheer practice. Two, content creation that used to require hiring expensive copywriters now can be done in minutes, literally, sometimes seconds. AI can help you write email sequences, social media posts, blog articles, and even entire sales pages, building your entire funnel, whatever it may be. Heck, it can even build your product for you. You provide the strategy, you provide the personal touch, and then AI is going to handle all the heavy lifting. Next, number three, customer service. Customer service that used to require that you were available 24/7, 365 can now be automated with AI chatbots that actually understand the context of your clients or customers' experience and concerns, and they can provide helpful responses. And should they need to transfer you over to a live human being, they can do that too. Even complex tasks that are out there, like creating marketing funnels, designing graphics, and analyzing data can be streamlined or completely handled with AI tools. But I think here's the real game changer. AI does not just save you time, it multiplies your capabilities. Let me say that again. It doesn't just save you time, it multiplies your capabilities and your abilities. You can now compete with businesses that have currently, right now, entire teams at their disposal because AI essentially gives you a virtual team that will work for you 24/7, 365, around the clock to get your stuff done. Imagine being able to research a business idea from soup to nuts during your lunch break. Being able to create a complete marketing strategy while your daughter's taking a nap. How about launching your first product between dinner and bedtime? It's not a fantasy. That's the reality AI is creating for smart parent entrepreneurs who take the time to learn how to leverage these tools. And here's what really excites me about this. We're just getting started. Like I mentioned earlier, the AI tools available today are like the early internet when I first started using it in 1995. We are at the very beginning of this revolution, which means the opportunities for all those early adopters out there are absolutely massive, and they're just going to get bigger. You want to get in now. You want to learn early. The question to me isn't whether or not AI will transform entrepreneurship, because let's be honest, it already has. The question is whether or not you are going to be a part of this wave of parent entrepreneurs who use these tools to finally escape their 9-to-5 grind. Or maybe you like your 9-to-5 job. That's fine. You just want to augment, right, your revenue stream. Or whether you're going to wait, sitting on the sidelines, like a cheer dad, while everyone else claims their piece of this new landscape, right? I know which one you should be. If you're still listening, how far are we into this? I can't see it on my screen right here, but If you're still listening this far into this podcast, I think you're the one that's going to want to claim your piece of the pie. So here it is, the big moment you've been waiting for. After months, maybe a couple of years of research, right? I didn't jump on the AI train right away. I waited to see if it was just a passing fad. And then I started jumping in, researching it. So after months of research, a little bit of soul searching and analyzing what's working and what's not, I'm making a strategic shift here at the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast and everything that's behind it. Starting with our next episode, we are officially niching down to serve one very specific group of people, parent entrepreneurs who want to escape their 9-to-5 job or, of course, augment their 9-to-5 revenue stream using AI tools and strategies. Oh, yeah, let me say that again because I think this is huge. We're focusing exclusively on helping time-starved parents leverage artificial intelligence to research, launch, and grow profitable side hustles that could eventually, if they want them to, replace their corporate income. What's that? Oh, yep. I can hear some of you, what you're saying, or maybe what you're thinking right now. Tracy, why are you narrowing down your focus? Won't you reach fewer people? Well, here's my answer to that. I'd rather profoundly impact 1,000 parent entrepreneurs with real impact in their lives than only slightly help 10,000 random business owners, right? I want to have that big impact on your world. Here's what this means for the podcast moving forward. Every single episode will be laser focused on this mission. Of course, we are still going to cover digital marketing strategies, but specifically how AI can supercharge those strategies for my busy parent entrepreneurs. We're still going to talk about course creation, of course, but we're going to talk about how AI can help you create and launch those courses in a fraction of the time. We'll still discuss email marketing, social media, and content creation, et cetera, but always through that lens of AI-powered efficiency for my parent entrepreneurs out there, for all my busy entrepreneurs out there. Think of it this way. Instead of being that general business podcast that occasionally helps the parents, we're going to be the podcast for parents who want to use AI to escape their corporate grind. Now, some of you, again, my magic headphones are going off. Why is this combination so incredibly powerful? And let me break it down for you. First, I think, in my humble opinion, parents have the motivation that's needed. When you're working for someone else's dream while your kids are growing up without you, when you're missing school plays because of mandatory meetings, when you're stressed out about the money at the end of the month, despite having worked 40 plus hours every single one of the 4 weeks in that month, that creates a level of motivation that I think makes you absolutely unstoppable. Second, my parents out there, you got skills. Yeah, my friend, my dad, you got game. My mom, you got game. You're already project managers and negotiators and multitaskers and problem solvers. You just need the right set of tools and the right set of strategies to apply those skills that you already have into building your own business. Third, AI, as I mentioned earlier, levels the playing field like never before. You don't need a team of 10 people anymore. You don't need to work 80 plus hours a week building your business. You can build a legitimate online business in the margins of your life using AI tools that can and will do all the heavy lifting for you. And fourth, the timing is perfect. We're still, as I mentioned earlier, in the early stages of this AI revolution. The parents, the busy entrepreneurs out there right now listening, who embrace these tools now will have a massive advantage over those who sit on the sidelines and wait, waving their flags. I want to do something better. Well, get off your ass and do it. This isn't just about making extra money, but the money's nice. Kind of need to have it. It's like oxygen. If you don't have it, you struggle. This is really about a complete lifestyle transformation. This is about your ability to be present for your kids while building something that could support your family for years to come, generations to come. This is about showing your children what's possible when you refuse to accept limitations and apply yourself towards your dreams. We're talking about using AI to compress what used to take years into months, what used to take months into weeks, what used to take weeks into days, and days into minutes. We're talking about building businesses that work for you instead of you working for them. That combination, parent entrepreneurs, plus AI, plus the burning desire to escape the 9 to 5 is probably the most powerful force I have seen in my decades of entrepreneurship. And I, my friends, am all in helping you harness that force to create the life you've always dreamed, desire, and I feel you deserve. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, once again, my magic headphones are going off. Tracy, what does this mean for me? So let me break this down for everyone who's listening to this episode right now. For my current listeners who are already parent entrepreneurs, congratulations. You, my friend, you just hit the jackpot. Everything we create moving forward is going to be specifically designed for you. No more sifting through the content that doesn't quite fit your situation. And this is episode 510, so there's quite a few episodes of content that I know didn't fit. No more trying to adapt strategies that were designed for a 25-year-old single entrepreneur who has limited time. Every episode, every resource, every strategy will be built with your unique challenges and your unique constraints in mind. You're going to get AI tools and tactics that actually work when all you have available to you is 15 to 30 minutes between school pickup and dinner prep or breakfast wake up and getting them out the door for school. You're going to learn strategies that account for the fact that your office might actually be your kitchen table, or it might even be your lap sitting in the easy chair in your living room, and your quiet time might actually happen on Saturday morning during those cartoons. Okay. And for those of you who aren't parents but are a part of the Dark Horse community, first, I want to say a heartfelt thank you for being on this journey with us. Here's the thing. The strategies that we've been teaching are incredibly powerful for anyone looking to build an online business efficiently. The AI tools that we will be covering, the time management techniques, the streamline approaches, they're going to work for everyone, not just parents. The difference is that we're going to be presenting them through the lens of how do you do this when you already have all these massive time constraints and family responsibilities. But here's the thing. If you can make these strategies work as a busy parent, imagine how much easier they'll be to use if you have more time and more flexibility. Yeah, okay. And for my new listeners, maybe you're just discovering us for the first time. Welcome to the revolution. Yeah, you, my friend, are joining at the perfect moment. We are about to embark on the most focused, actionable, results-driven content we've ever created. You won't have to dig through years of episodes to find the content that applies to you. Everything moving forward is designed specifically for your journey. Here is what you can expect in terms of content direction. Every episode, I think it's going to fall into one of these categories. AI tool spotlights. We're going to dive deep into specific AI tools that can transform how you research and create and market your business. Strategy sessions. We're going to break down exactly how to use AI to execute proven business strategies that are already out there that maybe we've already talked about. We'll just drop a reminder in there, but how you can use AI to execute those proven business strategies in a fraction of the time. Of course, we're going to talk about success stories. We're going to keep interviewing parent entrepreneurs who are already out there using AI to build profitable businesses and escape their 9 to 5 jobs. And they might not be parent entrepreneurs anymore or never were, but they're still using that AI out there. We're going to have implementation guides where we give you step-by-step blueprints for using AI to launch specific types of businesses or specific types of marketing campaigns. And of course, we're going to have Q&A episodes where we're going to answer your specific questions about using AI on your entrepreneurial journey. Now, for my existing community members who've been with me through courses and coaching and other programs, nothing changes. Nothing changes in the terms of my commitment to your success. If you're already working with me, you're going to benefit massively from this focused approach. The strategies we're developing and will develop for this new direction will enhance everything we're already doing together. And here's something really exciting, if you ask me. If you are not a parent, but you're a part of the community, you are going to become so incredibly valued to the parent entrepreneurs that we're both going to be serving. Because you might have more time to test strategies and more time to explore the tools. And then, of course, you can share insights that busy parents can then use to implement quickly. You could become mentors and guides within our community to our busy parent entrepreneurs. The bottom line is this, ladies and gentlemen, we're not abandoning anyone. We're just getting laser focused so we can serve everyone here better. When you know exactly who you're serving and exactly what problems you're solving, you create better solutions for everyone involved. Think of it like this. A restaurant that tries to serve every type of cuisine usually does it quite mediocrely. You've been to that restaurant. I know I have. You sit down, they hand you the menu, and you turn through 5, 7, 10 pages of entrees. You're like, wow. But a restaurant that focuses on perfecting one type of cuisine usually becomes legendary. And you've seen those too. You sit down, they give you a single sheet of paper. You're like, entrees on the front and maybe some desserts and sides on the back. You're like, wow. And then you eat it and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. That, my friends, is what we're doing here. We're striving to become legendary at serving parent entrepreneurs who want to use AI to escape their corporate grind. Okay. Now that brings us to our Whiskered Wisdom section. This is where we distill everything down we've just talked about today into one actionable step that you can take right now to keep your momentum moving forward or to get your ass moving forward. Either one, okay? So, Ethan, here's your mission should you decide to accept it. I want you to pick one AI tool and spend 15 minutes this week exploring how it could solve your biggest constraint as a parent entrepreneur. Now, I'm going to even make this mission even easier for you to accept because I'm going to make this super simple for you so you don't have to overthink it. And I'm going to give you 3 AI tools that are perfect for beginners to sink their teeth into. First, OpenAI's ChatGPT. If you've never used it, go create a free account, openai.com, and it's free, right? And then just start chatting with it. Ask it to help you brainstorm 10 business ideas based on your skills and interest. That's it. Just see what it comes up with and chat, ask detailed questions back and forth about it. Second, Canva's AI features. If you need some graphics for social media or some marketing materials, let Canva's AI help you create something in minutes where you probably used to spend hours. And third, Grammarly. If you're writing emails, social media posts, or any content, let AI help you polish your writing and make it more engaging. Here's what you need to do. Pick one of these. Just one. Don't try to master all 3 this week. Remember what I've said, focus beats scattered every single time. So here's why this simple step I think is so powerful. You're not just learning about AI if you go through this exercise and you are going to go through it, right? Okay, good. You're experiencing firsthand how it can start to give you back your precious time. And once you start to or experience that time savings, once you see how AI can handle tasks that used to eat up your evening hours, you'll start to understand the massive opportunity that I'm talking about here. But here's the key, and I want you to lean into me for a moment here. Don't just explore the tool. Don't just be, okay, Tracy said 50 minutes. Oh, look, 50 minutes, I'm all done. Okay. I want you to actually use it to solve a real problem that you're experiencing right now. Yeah. Do you need a social media post for your business idea? Use Canvas AI. You need to brainstorm what your next steps are? Ask ChatGPT. You need to clean up an email that you're sending to a potential client or to your boss? Run it through Grammarly. The goal here, my friends, is not perfection. The goal is momentum. The goal is to take one step, one small step that proves to you that this AI revolution isn't some far off future distant concept. It's happening right now at your fingertips, and you can be a part of it starting today. And here's your bonus challenge. After you use whichever tool that you choose to use, I want you to time how long it normally takes you to execute what it is you used AI to do versus how long it takes you to execute that same task with AI, right? Just, okay, I'm going to write an email and sit down and write the email. How long did it take? 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever it is. Write that number down. Then go through the same exercise using AI. And how long did it take? That's going to be your first taste, just a little wet your whistle of what's possible when you start leveraging these tools strategically. Remember, my friends, every single expert out there was once a beginner. Every single successful parent entrepreneur started with one small step. Today, your small step is to explore one AI tool for 15 minutes. That's it. Simple, achievable, and momentum building. Okay? All right, my Dark Horse friends and family, if what we talked about here has you a little bit fired up, and I hope it does, and you're ready to join us on this focused journey, here's how you can take the next step. First, If you're not already part of our community, I want you to join the Dark Horse Insider newsletter. This is where I'm going to be sharing the latest AI tools, marketing strategies, and digital tactics every week, specifically through the lens for my Dark Horse parent entrepreneurs out there. And all you got to do is head on over to darkhorseinsider.com. That's it, darkhorseinsider.com. Drop in your email, grab your free spot. You'll get immediate access to an upcoming AI toolkit for parent entrepreneurs, plus those weekly insights I mentioned that you won't hear anywhere else. A lot of them you probably won't hear here on the podcast. And if you do, it might be a while before they get mentioned. So you'll get a leg up. Second, I need your help spreading the message. If you know another parent out there that's stuck in their 9-to-5 grind, dreaming of something more, right? And they're feeling overwhelmed by all the business advice that's out there, go ahead and share this episode with them. Send them a link, tag them on social media, or just tell them about what we're building here. Because here's the thing, transformation happens faster when you're not doing it alone. And then third, engage with us. I really want to hear from you. Send me an email at tracy@darkhorseschooling.com and tell me what your biggest challenge as a parent entrepreneur is. What AI tool are you going to explore this week? Is it one of the three I mentioned, or is it something else? What questions do you have about using AI to escape your 9-to-5? I'm going to use your questions and your feedback to directly shape the content that goes into this podcast. So please don't be shy. And then fourth, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to this podcast, do me a favor and drop us a rating, preferably a 5-star rating, but whatever you feel is fair. And drop a couple of words about the review. Like I mentioned, tell other entrepreneurs what you're getting out of this show in that review. Those reviews help us. They help us get more powerful, more impactful guests onto the show to deliver the value to you. Remember, my Dark Horse friends and family, we're not just changing how you do business. We're changing your entire life trajectory. We're building a community of parent entrepreneurs who are going to refuse to choose between being present for their families and building their financial freedom. The 9-to-5 grind does not have to be yours forever if you don't want it to be. The AI revolution is happening with or without you. I'd much rather have you out there leading the charge than watching from the sidelines going, ooh, yay. So get out there, run your race, get your results, and let's build this AI-powered empire together. Until next time, think successfully and take action.